Greetings, this is Jacqueline Lowe from Grace That Reigns. Welcome to our winter series called Fall into the Light. Through this winter, I'm offering powerful testimonies of God's healing grace and how it helps to renew your own sense of wonder. Today, I have a special guest with me. Let's welcome Wanda Ivette Rodriguez Rivera. We met Wanda when she came to attend a retreat that we were giving at St. Dominic's in Garden City, Kansas. Wanda is a professor of chemistry at the college level. She is originally from Puerto Rico, and she's in her 40s. And it was a delight to have met her. Before she begins her testimony, this is a little bit about her backstory.
I had this condition, if we can say condition. Basically, I could not run, and that I tried to run, my ankles will hurt a lot, like this unique intense pain that they were on fire, so, but I could walk and I could walk fast, so I just accepted that. I realized that there was something different with me.
Mm-hmm.
And people will tell me that my muscles may be weak,
Mm-hmm.
but just to continue working on, and that over time I will feel okay. I saw that there was a retreat, and I say, okay, I'm just going to go there to grow more in faith and meet other women, other people, and do community.
So Bishop Gilmore and I were offering the mission, and at one point we asked if we could pray some healing prayers for the people who were attending. So when we reached Wanda to pray for her, Wanda recounts the fact that she didn't ask for any prayers for herself. She asked prayers for her aunt.
This is just a little thing, that I am going to pray for my aunt because she's the one that is really sick. She has cancer, a colon cancer.
Okay, so then we prayed for her aunt, but of course we prayed for Wanda too. At the end of the retreat, everybody went home, and so did Wanda. We thought that was the end of the story. But this was actually the beginning of Wanda's healing story. When I joined up with Wanda and I asked her, how did it go? How did her healing go? She replied,
Many people say, oh, I got healed and then I felt good.
But for Wanda,
it was not like that.
Let's find out now more about what happened.
I remember that, that Saturday, everything was normal. But then when I went to sleep, I went to sleep and I slept very deep. Now, the weird thing, it was that I kept sleeping a lot. I was sleeping a lot for 2 weeks and a half. Yeah, I have not been sleeping well for a while.
Wanda goes on to describe the sleep as deep, restful, peaceful, renewing, and refreshing. She knew that this was an unusual sign because it was the deepest sleep that she had ever experienced in all of her life. But at the same time, Wanda also experiences unusual kinds of pains in her body.
When I try to wake up from the bed in the morning, I remember that the pain on my feet when I tried to stand was so intense that I had to hold on the wall of my room. It was this intense pain, like I could not put my foot on the floor. And then I was praying to God, please God, allow me to be able to teach on Monday because I need to stand up. I need to write on the board.
She couldn't figure out why she was in so much pain all of a sudden.
And then I had this sensation that, maybe God was punishing me. it was like I went to the retreat and I was feeling so bad and I was getting so sick. So I it was a lonely period and very confusing and kind of like a testing my spiritual faith.
Along with the pain, she also witnessed some physiological changes.
This part of my hands, the palms, you could see that it was yellow.
In the past 2 weeks, her body has been going through stress and pain, and in fact, she also describes how her hair has also begun to drop and thin out because of the stress. This isn't supposed to happen after a retreat.
And another thing that happened, it was that, during those 2 weeks, another thing that happened, it was that I bled through my uh, joints here.
I did not know that.
Well, I bled a little bit, not much. Uh, it was, especially when I noticed it when I was taking baths. Then you could see that maybe because I am white, it was kind of like with pink, very pink marks.
So if we haven't lost you, I love what Wanda says next, which I'm sure some of you may be thinking.
I told that to my mother. She thought that I was crazy. Everybody was crazy. But at least, and I didn't know what was going on.
So at this point, thinking that everyone thinks she's already crazy, she decides that she's going to go to the doctors to find out if she can have some tests run.
So at this point, I say, okay, I have to go to the doctor. I don't like to go to the doctor, but I have to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor. They could not do the analysis right away because I had to be fasting. So they did the analysis on Thursday. On Monday, I went to pick up the analysis and they did general things. On most of the things I was okay, but one of my liver enzymes was high.
Her elevated liver enzyme turns out to be very significant in her healing journey. Find out why.
And normally that enzyme is high when you have when bones are growing.
Oh, well, that's
An injury, if you have a broken bone, enzyme is going to go up to heal that bone.
Why was it that these healing enzymes were rising in your body?
When I asked the doctor, she could not explain. She told me that maybe I was menopause. I am still young to be menopause. And normally alkaline phosphates have high levels happens during puberty when you are growing up, and children normally have high levels. Or for example, if you break a bone, the bone is healing.
Okay.
You have high levels. You go, okay, this is not supposed to happen to me because I am a grown. I hope that I don't have kidney disease. Well, the analysis say that the kidneys are okay, so they were very high.
So at this time, and she just went for a retreat, she just received healing prayers. She cannot understand it that after 2 weeks, although she's sleeping like a baby and peaceful and energized, she is still suffering from so many various mysterious physiological ailments in her body.
So the retreat was on February 8th. The pain kept decreasing. So 2 weeks later, I didn't have much, a lot of pain. My tendons were more flexible.
Keep this in mind, her liver enzymes were still high, as well as her keratin phosphorus. Those were the enzymes that promoted bone growth and tissue growth.
3 weeks after the retreat, I kind of like I noticed that I was walking faster.
Oh.
And because my tendons were not stiff. So I kind of like decided to try to jog. And I was so surprised. Like I was like, oh my God, it's not, I don't have that pain. And I just cannot explain because there are some things that you can see visible. The only thing that I can show that there was something visible, maybe it was the pictures that I took from the hair
The
loss
hair,
was
yes. The whole
going,
growing back. Uh-huh.
and the analysis of the blood that my alkaline phosphatase level was high.
Yeah.
And also the doctor could not say anything what was going on. So by February 29, 3 weeks after the retreat, I decided to go for a jog.
Hmm.
Was so surprised that because I didn't have that intense pains. Like that intense pains was automatically, like I just will feel it right away. And I was not feeling it. I was
Oh.
God. So something extraordinary happened. And at that point, I kind of like started believing that, okay, something, maybe God touched me. I don't know why, because I was praying for my aunt, but at least I know, okay, there is no problem with my liver. It was just something that happened that God was working with me. So
Oh, wow.
next analysis, all of the levels are going to be within normal range. Every time that I kind of like a joke, I remind myself that God is with me, and over time I have been able to do more and more, which is amazing.
So, Wanda, if we take a look at the kinds of healing that you experienced and break it down into parts, we have the retreat experience with prayers, then the grace of your slumber when you reached home, which extended for a little over 2 weeks, then the painful trial by fire physiological changes in your body, which the doctors couldn't explain, then the healing of your ankle pain and feet, which now permits you to jog, and finally your realization that God has touched you, all without asking God for healing. Just making a quick observation here, does it seem like you experienced a kind of metamorphosis ending in, say, a physical and spiritual healing? I think definitely it has made your faith stronger. And I will admit, mine too. So I wonder, could it be that the high level of alkaline phosphate in your body promoted your bone growth and perhaps a kind of regeneration for the insides of your body? Perhaps since you're a chemistry teacher, maybe God knew or was able to give you this kind of healing that would make sense to you and your scientific world. So what do you think, Wanda?
Yeah. God is mysterious. He works in mysterious way that we don't understand. But to me, it was amazing, and also because it was something that I was not expecting.
Any last words, Wanda?
Please help me. I don't know. Forgive me if I was, if my mom was wondering when I was at church. For me, this healing kind of like pushed me to kind of like move forward and to not be afraid.
Thank you, Wanda, for your final words, and what a journey. What a pleasure to have you as our guest. This is Jacqueline Lowe again at Grace That Reigns, www.gracethatreigns.com.